everyone. Now, that was a fantastic speech or talk by Rob B. And he went into the jurisdictions and such like. A lot of the stuff that you believe you know may be false, and that's why he's saying look into everything. Now, all of us have got the power, and we're fighting one massive monster, and this is what we can actually do. Maybe not. There's a monster, and that's us. We've got the power, we can tie it down so it can't do us any harm. And that's the trouble. Everyone is an individual, and until they come together, that monster will do whatever it likes, it'll stamp on it. Keep that image in your mind that as a unit, as us coming together, we are greater than what's coming for us, or that is coming for us. Now, I'm getting old, so I need crib sheets. So basically, we'll start off with what you're all under, the illusion. There's a veil over all your eyes. Each and every one of you, as Rob pointed out, are all corporations. You're all dead entities. And that dead entity it goes all the way back to Babylon. It's actually in the Bible. It warns you in the Bible. I'll refer to that book in a little while. But you actually deal in death. When you go into a shop, you're a dead man, dead woman, doing a contract with another dead man or woman. You marry someone who's dead. Every time. The reason why I'm talking about this just now, there was a woman who sat at the front row last time and asked about the legal name, the legal fiction. I think 99% of people know that the birth certificate turns you into a corporation. It's all in capital letters. Now, there's more to that when it's capitalized, there's something else that's going on. It's called, there's been huge research done in Australia and in America, and it's called a glossa. Now, when you see your name in capitals, it isn't the same language as English. You can read it in the document as English, but it's actually not English at all. It goes right back to Babylonian times. It's also known in Rome, they used to write the slaves' names in capitals. So when you see your name in capitals, they're calling you a corporation and a dead entity. Okay? Now when that name appears, let's say, on a warrant or on a court document, it makes it null and void. It's a poisonous document. What you'd have to do, you'd have to read it all in English and then go back and read your name. Your name is all in capitals. With a gloss, you're covering up something. You're glossing over something. They're misleading you. They're concealing. And there's a law against it. It's personage. There's another law, I believe it's barratry. Both of these are common law crimes. Every time a bailiff hands you a document, a policeman, whoever it is, and they try and get you to take that document with a glossa on it, they're committing a criminal offence. And this is why I believe that when they come and try and steal your property and wave the document at you, that if they hand it over, they've committed personage. Now, it can't be proved yet, but it will be proved hopefully very soon. Bob went into, who are you in court? Well, the easiest way to do it is get an affidavit and state in it that you're a living man or woman, and write and ask them to identify the nature of the defendant. Is it a man, a woman, or a person? And game's up if they do that, because there's no way in the world will they admit that you are a person, because it's slavery, it's concealing, and it comes under the glossa. You can also, if you really want to take a hold of that name, you can go right now and register your name as a corporation. You can also trademark it as well. So every time they use your name, they're committing another offence. They won't like that because, yeah. Trademark. Yeah, you can trademark. It's £170. That's all you need to do. That I don't know. Yeah. So once you trademark your name and you turn it into a corporation, you've got the deeds for this now. The only reason why you are assuming that that name is your name is through assumption and presumptions. And there you are in court as a fiction, but you're living, but you're taking all the responsibilities that they're putting on you as that fiction. And this goes right back to the very beginning, when they start court proceedings against you. There is no court. It's only an administrative hearing, and you can't be heard. Nothing can happen to a human being, a living man or woman. But to a person, they can fine you, they can penalise you, and they will act against you, and they can even send you to jail as a person. So you've got to know who you are. So if you make your own corporation in that name, that really gets confusing, because you've got a certificate and you want to know why they're using this document as a personage, which is a criminal offence. They will not go near you in court as soon as you bring those facts up. You want to know the nature of the defendant, man, woman, or person. An affidavit, yeah, you can get the notary. There's many things you can do. So that really scatters them. So you're all acting as dead people, dead entities in this world. Everything you do, you never do anything as a living man. It's all contract, and it goes right back to the SESQV Act 1666, and before that Rome, and before that Babylon. Now, I've already got it in my hand. This is in the Bible. The Bible is three things. It's a holy book. It's a law book. That's why it's in the court. And it's also a code book. You need to read it and know it. Once you know it, look for the codes. Now, there's many strange sayings in the Bible, and I'll run a couple past you, and I think it may wake you up a bit. At one point, there was a young man who wanted to follow Jesus. And Jesus said, well, follow me. And he said, but my father's died, so I can't follow you until I bury him. And Jesus said to him, let the dead bury the dead. You're given a heads up there. You're all dead. If you're living, carry on doing it. That was in Luke 9.5, if you want to look it up. Now, I've got a few other ones here where you're in maritime law. Jesus said to Paul, or Peter, to get out of the boat and walk. Get out of maritime law, because that is the dead man's law. get out of that. And even going back to the Old Testament, and this will shock you, it's all in there. This is in Isaiah 28:18. Your convent, that's a contract, old term, with the dead will be annulled. Your agreement with the realm of the dead will not stand. We'll come to a point, as we are now, that we realise that we're not dead, and we don't do dealings with the dead. You've got to withdraw from this artificial realm. There's lots of things in the Bible that's all put there in code, and you've got to be able to read it. So now you know, in the documents they're sending you, there's a glossier, which glosses over, it conceals its actual facts, that you are a living man. If your name was all in lowercase, they wouldn't do the things they're doing to you. They couldn't do it. And if they persist with it, they're breaking the law. And once you know that they're breaking the law, you can bring their attention to it, and you can actually write in court and tell them to cease and desist, write in your name in all capitals. And if you persist in it, please let me know why. And they won't. They can't. The game's up. The game's up for them now. We've nearly cracked all the little codes. There's not an awful lot left for us to do, except tell your friends and neighbours and carry on researching, as Rob said. So I was only going to do a little talk today. I had a bit more to do, but we've run a bit longer than we should, not because of Rob, but we started about an hour late. And so there you go. Send in an affidavit telling them that you're a man or a woman, and if you want them to let you know what the nature of the defendant is, and that court case will go away.
Really?
Should do. Yeah.
You said about writing and putting the date in capitals and writing back to the court and tell them to seize and desist.
Yeah.
Is that the way that we should do it? Or
No. You don't write in capitals unless you want to assume to be a person.
Right.
What you've got to do is write your name. You write your first name, Tom, capital,
Right.
double dot, Crawford, all lowercase, not to be used for any financial gain afterwards if you really want to go. Then you can use your coat of arms. Everybody's got a name. You can copy it, put it at the bottom right hand side, a red fingerprint over it, and sign across it. You must sign across your coat of arms because everyone's got to be different from everyone else's. Yeah. So you've actually made that document yours. You're the author. As Rob said before, a lot of these documents, you are the author of these documents. They're the author of theirs. They can tell you what their words mean. When you make yourself the author, you tell them what you mean by these words in case there's any confusion.
I would just say autograph, not sign.
Oh yes, it's an autograph. Beg your pardon. Yeah, because if you sign, you're back into their realm. So it's all autograph. And that's why you collect somebody's autograph, you don't collect their signatures. Any more questions? Yeah, crossover, but down bottom right hand side. And that way you're the authority of that document. So it's very simple. The whole thing has been very simple. What's happened is over years, thousands of years, since Babylon, they've used the slave. They've now reinvented the slave. They've got willing slaves now that don't know. Everyone in here is a willing slave. It's so difficult to get out of it. I mean, I've got a pension. I don't draw it. They stole my house. I won't take anything from them. I'm standing as I am in God's kingdom. You can try that in court, actually. You can go into court and you say, this is God's kingdom, and this building is standing in God's kingdom, and we come under His jurisdiction. If you've got a higher jurisdiction, bring it forward and I'll listen. Otherwise, we'll go by God's jurisdiction. And that really scatters them as well.
You know, I was in court one time, and I said to the judge, which is the highest law in the court? And I said, I believe like the Bible said, this is the highest law in the court, and I'm going to use this to my defense. She went crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know, if I could have quoted stuff verbatim, it just fall down.
Yeah, that's it. It's like garlic to a vampire. Yeah, and they're sucking our blood, sucking our energy, and we're giving it to them. But now you know, it's so simple, and it was a great plan. As they say, the best slaves are the willing ones. So now you know you're not a slave, and you're not dead. Don't deal in dead things or with dead people. The government's a dead entity. The council, the police, they're a corporation. They all incorporated us. It's a death cult. That's why you go into court and they ask you to rise. If you go into church or into wherever, a holy place, and the person giving the sermon asks you all to rise, I'll get out of there. Because they're raising the dead. That's what they're doing. Yeah. And that's why you make an appearance in court. It's because you're not alive, there's someone's in the dead. And that's why they all put their death robes on. It's a death cult.
So when they say to you in court, all rise,
Yeah.
we should remain sitting, right?
Yeah. Well, I always remain standing. I don't sit down. I want to sit down, because. But this is what they've done. They're all in fancy dress costume, really. But it's not games they're playing. They steal your children, they steal your homes, and they steal your lives as well. Because I already said this, 2,500 people every year take their lives through debt. The new figure is 120,000 evictions every year. That's evictions. It doesn't mean to say that it's forcible evictions, it's ones that have come for the property and they've had no knowledge to get the keys back. But those other ones, they use force. But for every eviction, if you average, the average household has got 4 people in it, you've now got 480,000 people suffering who are dead entities. And of course, you can't hurt anyone that's dead. There's nothing they can do to harm us. But as soon as they know you're a man, they take a step back and they cannot come at you. Unless you've done something wrong, done harm to someone, damaged the property, then rightfully the law should be there to punish them. And not pool tables and games. Anyway, I've got to go and get my Pokemon now.
Before you do though, the codification that you've been doing with the Bible, have you got anything that we might want to buy in terms of codes and stuff like that?
You've got to do your own research into it. Yeah, and it'll do you good anyway, reading the Bible. Right, well, thank you for listening. Sorry?
Question.
Coat of arms. Right, well, what's your last name? Just do a search on your name and it will come up. Google it. A wonderful thing, Google. Maiden name, you go back into maritime law. Mother's name. Yeah, you can. Well, if you go back to Old Scottish, it used to be that the mother carried the name, not the father, because the line didn't die out that way, where it may be fire and bugs. So, any more questions? No? Right? Well, thank you for listening to my little bit of waffle. And I think there's a gentleman here who wants to say something. Do you want to talk just now? You're going to do it later? Yeah. Okay. So, you're right, Dave? Yeah? Another good man here. Oh, Sorry, Dave. I just want. There's one thing I wanted to wake everybody up with. Okay, and this is very important. If I can get this off. Sorry about this, Dave. This is going to totally shock you. I told you it's old age. Leave that one. Right. Now, Rome was talking about different factions that fight against each other. Okay. So you've got, let's say, the Rothschilds, or the Freemasons, or whoever, all battling. Now, a lot of research is done in Freemasonry. 99% of Freemasons are like us. They don't have a clue. Okay? When you become a Mason, you go in as an entered apprentice. You don't know anything. The only thing they do is show you a handshake and a word. Then you get the second. You go in as a second degree Mason. These are all degrees. He's got another word and another handshake. But then, when you become a Master Mason, these Masons are given serious information, but they don't know what it's all about. They're as blank as us. We didn't know that we were all dead, but now we do. They get raised. Okay? They get raised when, in the third degree, they turn up and they put a coffin on the floor. And they walk around the coffin. And they put the candidate in the coffin, or maybe just a map with a picture of the coffin. And they put the Mason on there. He's supposed to represent a chap called Hiram Abiff, who was executed, assassinated by his enemies because he wanted to know how to build Solomon's temple. When he gets raised, that's it there. As you see, there's a picture of the coffin. He gets raised to be a Master Mason. He doesn't know why. 99% don't know why. He's just been given the privilege of not becoming a dead entity, a person. He's been woken up. The trouble is, not enough, because he doesn't even know he's that. That's why a lot of Masons that go into court, nothing happens to them, and they don't know why. It's because they go into court and they're going in as a man, not a person, because they've been raised from the dead. So these Masons are actually alive and walking around, while all you lot are all considered dead. So I thought I'd slip that one in, and I think this is about the first time that's ever been put on the internet or before a group of people. They probably have me assassinated, but it's too late now. So. Sorry about that.
Debt Free TV, in association with GetOutOfDebtFree.org.